Ladies and gentlemen, hello, and you are watching TTV News, some latest events in the Ninh province. And now coming to details. Ladies and gentlemen, on July 11, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh and leaders of ministry and branches of the government expected the COVID-19 epidemic prevention and control in the Ninh province. Welcoming the delegation, there was Secretary of the Provincial Party Committee, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tâm, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Chairman of the Provincial People Committee, head of the Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control of the Ninh province.
Reporting on the local anti-epidemic situation, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tâm said that since the outbreak of the epidemic until now, Tay Ninh has recorded many cases of COVID-19 infection, including cases in the community. Currently, it has established blockade zones, medical isolation, first tracing of F1, F2, complete localization, rapid testing. So far, the epidemic situation is basically under control. In addition, the province has also strengthened strict management of people coming from epidemic areas, strictly handling violations of epidemic prevention control, strictly control the border to prevent illegal entry. Meanwhile, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc reported that in the first 6 months, the epidemic situation in Tay Ninh has not given much impact on the province's economic development goals. Specifically, most of the agency's socio-economic targets have met or exceeded the plan. National defense and security have been maintained, foreign affairs have been strengthened, administrative reform has made positive changes. In the coming time, except for epidemic prevention and control, the province will seriously implement national target programs to ensure social security, propose solutions to strive to fulfill socio-economic goals in 2021, creating a remit for the development of the following years. Representatives of leaders of ministries and branches of the government also made assessments and suggestions for Tay Ninh to ensure the due role of fighting the epidemic and developing the economy. Epidemic prevention and control in industrial zones must be raised by one level. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh considered that with its location in the southern key economic zone, especially on the East-West economic corridor connecting Vietnam with Asian countries through international bordergates, Tay Ninh needs to further promote the economic potentials, focusing on strategic infrastructure investment, overcoming shortcomings and limitations, taking the lead of public investment, mobilizing foreign investment sources, bringing into play the available advantages in terms of location, geography, especially climate. For the goal of anti-epidemic, Tay Ninh is located in the low-lying area of the epidemic from Cambodia, Ho Chi Minh City, and the eastern provinces, so the risk is still very high. In addition, Tay Ninh needs to perform pre-main tasks synchronously, effective epidemic prevention, successful social-economic development, and healthcare and people's life. At the same time, in the epidemic prevention control, it must be both self-reliant with concentration and well implement the motto for on the spot. Do not let the epidemic spread in the community or come deeply into industrial zones. Strengthen control of bordergates, isolation areas, and quarantine people. Strictly follow the spirit of Directive 16 for the applicable areas. Share with Ho Chi Minh City. Welcome those who wish to return to the locality, but must implement strict management measures. The Prime Minister also directed the province to immediately support the unemployed, disadvantaged subjects in society according to Decree 68 of the government.
Also at the meeting with the Ninh provincial leaders, the Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh said that the epidemic situation in locality is developing complicatedly. Currently, there have been many dangerous new strains that can directly affect our life and health, and indirectly affect economic production. Therefore, the general spirit of the government doesn't let the epidemic outbreak operate. If any, it is necessary to well take care of the patient health and minimize death from the epidemic.
During the mission, the Prime Minister visited and inspected the operation at Tay Ninh Center for Disease Control or CDC, Tay Ninh Tuberculosis and Lung Disease Hospital, At Tay Ninh CDC, Minister of Health Nguyễn Thanh Long said that the expertise in COVID-19 treatment in Tay Ninh has strengthened compared to previous time, but he suggested that the province supplement the testing system, ensuring biological products and medical supplies serving for SARS-CoV-2 testing in the province. The Ministry of Health will supplement Tay Ninh with 5,000 samples for SARS-CoV-2 rapid antigen tests. For Tay Ninh Tuberculosis and Lung Disease Hospital, from June 30, 2021, it has converted into a hospital for treating COVID-19 patients with a maximum capacity of 82 beds. Currently, 42 patients have been treated, and the hospital has divided shifts with 2 doctors and 4 nurses each to ensure treatment. At the destinations, Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh raised the spirit of medical staff. At the same time, he hoped that medical officials and staff will continue to promote their sense of responsibility, take care of the health of patients, absolutely comply with regulations on epidemic prevention control under the guidance of the Ministry of Health, always research to improve professional capacity, treatment to adapt to the developments of the epidemic. After a meeting with the leaders of Tay Ninh province, the government's delegation checked the COVID-19 prevention control at Mokbai International Border Gate, Tay Ninh province. According to the government's assessment, the outbreak in Cambodia and other countries in the region is putting great pressures on the province's epidemic prevention control. The border guard, police, custom, and health forces who are on duty here always make efforts to prevent the epidemic from entering Vietnam, but still ensure the circulation of goods between the two countries. Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh acknowledged the achievements and said the difficulties that the forces have been overcoming. He also hoped that the forces could continue to promote the spirit of self-reliance, maintain the relationship between Vietnam and Cambodia in the spirit of peace, friendship, cooperation, and development. On this occasion, the Prime Minister also sent gifts, encouraging the spirit of the forces on duty at Mokbai International Border Gate. According to Minister of Health Nguyễn Thanh Long, during the meeting of Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh with Tay Ninh province, the current highest rate of infection in Tay Ninh is not from the border, but from people who return from Ho Chi Minh City and neighboring provinces. According to Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Long, the epidemic control at the borderlines of Tay Ninh has achieved high efficiency by applying many layers to protect the border, in which the first layer is the border guard, police and military forces at epidemic control checkpoints, covering and supporting each other. In the second layer, the province mobilized people, especially those in border areas, to denounce illegal entries and organization of illegal entries. Although the province has planned to control import at traffic gateway, the efficiency is only 70%. The rest is due to dishonest declarations by people. Therefore, it is required that the locality have timely and specific solutions.
Recently, the Ministry of Health cooperated with the Ministry of National Defense to organize the launching ceremony of the nationwide COVID-19 vaccination campaign. The ceremony was held online the bridge points of the province, city, and military zones. At the Tay Ninh bridge, there were Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Tâm, Secretary of the Rongso Party Committee, Chairman of the Rongso People Council, Mr. Nguyễn Thanh Ngọc, Chairman of the Rongso People Committee, Head of the Rongso Steering Committee for Disease Prevention and Control.
According to the Ministry of Health, the campaign is launched in July with about 8.7 million doses of received COVID-19 vaccine. More than 18,000 injection points across the country, including mobile vaccination, will deploy COVID-19 vaccination. The campaign takes place from July 2021 to April 2022, with the goal of 150 million doses to be injected to Vietnamese citizens. The goal is to have 50% of people aging 18 years and older vaccinated by 2021, and by the first quarter of 2022, 70% of the population to be vaccinated. Vaccines will be brought to be the district level for vaccination. Wherever it is injected, is safe there. The principle of safety, caution, taking it step by step, maximizing coverage. Vaccination is a right for individuals and a responsibility for the community. Affirming that vaccine is the most effective measure to prevent the COVID-19 epidemic, the Prime Minister requested that it is necessary to focus on importing, technology transfer, and domestic production in order to provide free vaccinations for the people. The support for Vietnam's vaccine fund, which has collected over 8,000 billion Vietnam dong, shows the consensus to fight the epidemic. The Prime Minister also suggested that in order for the campaign to be effective, sectors and localities need to organize well coordination, injection in a scientific, correct process, quickly, timely, effectively, research and distribute timely. At the same time, boost domestic production to ensure vaccination work and achieve the annual target of community immunity.
Dear audience, during the complicated development of the COVID-19 epidemic, people are advised to limit going out when it is not really necessary. Some restaurants also only accept customers to have a meal on the spot with a maximum of 20 people. Even some places only sell for takeaway. Along with the strict implementation of regulation on epidemic prevention and control, the fear of spreading the epidemic has also caused many people to change their shopping habit. Therefore, the shipping and shopping service has become in line with the trend.
Recently, people in Tay Ninh City have become familiar with the fast shopping service for consumers. Not only carrying out the delivery task, this service also helps people buy goods for them, from food, drinks, clothes, even going to the market on demand. The company mainly delivers meals that customers order on the app and has a service to go to the market, buy food in the supermarket. Currently, the company is mainly concentrated in Tay Ninh City. Choose the items to buy, note the necessary requirements, then enter the address and contact phone number so the order process is successful. The company staff will quickly receive, process, and transfer the order to the shipping team to make the purchase and delivery to the customers. Our status take no more than 15 minutes, depending on the distance. During this epidemic period, I also limit going out to the streets, gathering in large numbers, so I often use the fast shopping service. I see that this service is very useful and convenient for the family. I can buy a lot of things without going out. As for the price, I think it's reasonable. It is currently the epidemic period, so my shop does not apply on-site sales, only takeaway. We also collaborate with the fast shopping app, and it's very effective. Since the service has been available, we can sell more. Thanks to this service, my shop is also more stable during the epidemic period with a stable revenue. Not only bringing convenience to users, this service also contributes to stimulating business activities during the epidemic. Instead of closing or opening to welcome customers with a limited number, this service has helped stores operate more stably, but still ensure the correct implementation of regulations on epidemic prevention and control.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for today TTV News. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.